Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today's video is all about recons and not really about Dare. I have Dare here purely as like an honorable mention to say that Dare has the recon helmet. There's been a couple iterations of her. We're not really going to talk about her, but she has a helmet. I've been building up to this video for a while. I've been collecting up every color of Mega's new articulation recon. Today we're going to look at all of them, so let's go ahead and jump right in. First on our list we have the normal blue recon. This guy is just your straight typical blue, really nice looking. This dude comes in the Capture the Flag base crashers, the CTF base crashers set, so he's pretty common. If you want a recon, you don't want to spend a lot of money, this would be the one to get because he's pretty easy to find. Of course, the helmet looks absolutely fantastic. The visor is very sharp and clean, and I really love the fact that they've used the Halo 4 Chief lower legs for him because it made him stand out from the rest of the Spartans that just use like the Halo Wars ones. When I got the CTF base crasher set, which this guy was actually one of my first figures, he was in the handful of first figures that I got. But this dude was instantly my favorite because of the way that the helmet was different, the chest plate was different, the shoulders were different, and the lower legs were different. Which, by the way, that chest plate also looks pretty darn good. Shoulders look good. Overall, a really good figure. Next up, we have Teal. This is the Teal recon, which I think this is a brilliant color. And yes, I know there's going to be comments about red versus blue down below, but red versus blue aside, I think this is fantastic. This is a color that Mega has not used super often, but it looks so good on this recon. So good. I believe this guy came in a blind bag series. I do not remember what blind bag series it was off the top of my head. I will put up on screen a little text that says what it is. But yeah, looks really good. And something I noticed, and the Halo 2 Chief has this thing where there's two helmet variations. One sits higher on the neck and one sits lower. And I believe the recon has the same thing, because if we can compare real quick to the other one, the neck sits much farther down. Like I can turn the head farther to the side with the blue one than the darker blue one than I can with this teal one. So I believe that there are two head variations for these recons, one that sits lower and one that sits kind of up higher. Very interesting, something I literally just noticed as I was recording this video. So this guy is a little bit interesting. This guy comes from this Siege armor pack that originally comes with the metallic green EOD as the main Spartan. So, because it was originally an EOD, you have to just have the like Halo Wars lower legs as opposed to the chunkier Halo 4 lower legs, which kind of sets this guy apart in an odd way. I would have preferred to see those chunkier lower legs here. However, you could easily pop and swap it because Mega has those Chiefs in that color. For example, here is the 20th anniversary character pack Chief, and that's the same color. So you could totally swap it over and make this guy match the rest, which is cool. The metallic green is kind of cool. I dig it on this armor. It's pretty nice. I mean, the color variation, you know, the lower legs are a little bit lighter than the thigh armor, and there's just variation in the green, which I don't love. But overall, I would say it looks pretty darn good in this color. It's just if you buy the Siege pack and want him to be the recon right out of the box, he will have to have those slightly thinner lower legs. This guy right here has been the missing piece for this video for a long time. He's the most recent addition to my collection to be able to actually make this video. And I love this green so much. This guy might be my favorite. I'm not sure. He might be. He's pretty darn close to the top if he's not my number one favorite. It's just such a nice green. This whole armor looks amazing on it. He has the lower sitting head, which is interesting. I mean, there's nothing good or bad about either one. I just feel like it's kind of interesting that there's variation. Head's well printed. I was a little worried because the Rogue that came from the same set, his visor started rubbing off. So I've been so worried that this is going to happen to this guy. But so far, he seems to be okay. But yeah, absolutely love this one. It took forever to get, and I would say that this dude might be the rarest of the ones that we're going to look at today. There's one other that might rival him in terms of rarity, but yeah, this guy's pretty close to the top. I also want to say that all of these are male figures. This chest plate does not fit with the female torso. So all of these are male Spartans. So this guy is cool. This guy is cool actually for a couple reasons. First of all, he's got all black covert ops looking armor, which is super awesome. Mega doesn't do that very often, so when they do, it's really kind of special and awesome to get. But also, this guy is a kind of paying homage to the Recon that was in the original Elephant, the old articulation figure. This is essentially the reborn version of that guy. I don't have him on hand, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would show you guys what the changes have been. But yeah, this is amazing. I love this figure. Just the plain black armor and the gray undersuit is actually perfect. I do believe there is a little bit of black print up on the head, even though you can't really see it. And then the visor stands out really, really nicely against that black. Another really awesome thing is the fact that he matches perfectly with the CQB from Halo Universe Series 3. So if you happen to have both of these, get them in a fire team together because they are made for it. Like literally, look at this. Black armor, gray undersuit, gold visor. How can you not team these guys up? So remember how I said that there was one other Recon on this list that was more rare than the green dude? Well, here he is. This guy comes from the CTF Arctic Hog, which is a very rare set these days, or at least very expensive, and that was the only set that had a red Recon. This one is also pretty high up on my list. I just love red. That happens to be my favorite color. So this dude is very high on my list of like, these are really cool. It just looks great in red. It really does. Absolutely brilliant. The black of the print on the head contrasts really, really well. It just is, it's just great. I just absolutely love it. It's just, I don't know. This is just such a fun video for me just because I love Recon. This figure, I haven't played it like the armor set in game, but I just love the way that this figure looks. And in this kind of speckled red, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Some of you may notice that the groin armor here looks a little funny, and that's because it's a quality control error. It's a little melted, but I haven't bothered changing because number one, I don't have another piece, and also it doesn't really look that bad. It just looks a little different from the rest of them. This yellow dude is one that is definitely going to stand out on the battlefield. He comes from the New Dawn blind bag series, and it's nice to see yellow. This is not a straight yellow. It's showing up on camera. Well, I might be able to fix it in post, so you guys might not even see this. But it's a very like buttery, almost orangish yellow. It's showing up on camera for me right now as a very bright yellow, but it's a little bit of a orangish yellow. The visor, unfortunately, on this dude is a little bit funny. There's like a little bit of smudged on that one corner. That's just how he came. I don't know. It looks like... in person, it kind of makes it look like there's a shine on the visor. But yeah, the visor contrasts pretty nicely because of that black that's around it. And yeah, it just looks really good. This is not one that's going to appeal to everybody just because of how bright he is. But if you like Recon, I would say that you need to have one of these in your collection. And I don't think that this guy is too hard to track down. I think he's on the slightly more common side, whatever common means for Mega these days, since it's just such a high demand, low supply product. And last but not least, we have a patch of empty air. No, I'm just kidding. This is the active camo Recon, and this dude actually comes in the Capture the Flag base crasher set, the CTF base crasher. So you could basically say there's two Recons on the team, or you could say it's this guy right here, the darker blue one turning invisible. And as much as I don't know, I never have been a big fan of the active camo figures, but it is kind of cool to have an active camo counterpart so that any of these figures that I have, any of these Spartans that I have could go active camo. And on this background, it sure looks like he's invisible. I mean, look at that. You can barely see him at all. That's honestly kind of hilarious. But yeah, this was a kind of lowest on my list, but he's still a Recon, so he needed to be here. And yeah, like I said, it's just kind of cool to be able to get two of them in one set and be like, oh, look, he's going active camo. That's just kind of cool. Well, there you have it. That is every single new articulation Recon that Mega has made. And I honestly feel like I've collected the Infinity Stones with all of these Recons because there's just, I don't know, this lineup is great. We have a couple shades of green, couple shades of blue. We have the warmer colors. We got the black Spec Ops. We got the AC. I don't know. The only thing I would really want here more is maybe an orange and maybe a white. I could take or leave a white, but a purple or pink. Those are the ones I feel like are missing. But yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. I love these figures. They're so good. And I don't know, this just looks great. It just looks great. So what I want to know is how many of these guys are in your collection? Which ones are your favorite? What would you say is your top 3 here? I think my top 3 would be the black one, the red one, and the green one, followed closely by the teal. Those 4. But all of them are good because they're Recon and they're just awesome. So, like I said, which ones do you have in your collection, and what would be your top 3 out of this whole lineup? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.